for the latest now on the building collapse and the ongoing rescue operation. Let's cross live to SABC News reporter Vanessa Puna. Vanessa, perhaps, give us an update in terms of what's happened since we last saw you. I know that this is a constantly moving story, but sometimes, and for those waiting, it's not fast enough because they are just hoping for some news, and that news just doesn't come fast enough for them.
Leanne, yes, good morning to you, and you are absolutely right, because we did hear from various family members yesterday talking about their frustration levels because they are still awaiting news of their loved ones. Some of them saying that they're not sure whether they are still among the 44 that are trapped beneath the rubble here behind me, whether they are in, well, I suppose still waiting for news about that. And of course, that sad news this morning by the Premier that a ninth person, one of those that were critically injured in this collapse, has passed overnight. And not just family members, Leanne, I think for the wider George community, because what we've seen since we arrived here is that people, onlookers, are coming here at the site. Of course, it is cordoned off behind me because you would know this is indeed a crime scene, as confirmed by the police commissioner of the Western Cape, General Thembisile Patekile, earlier. And also, active investigations are ongoing. But that does not stop residents of George coming to the fence over here to ascertain the latest, and of course, just trying to witness the recovery as well as the rescue efforts. And two of those residents I spoke to a short while ago, they're standing by with me. Mr. Isaac Koloba, he himself is in the construction industry, a civil engineer by training, and he says that this incident has indeed moved him. I'm bringing him in now. Mr. Isaac Koloba, a very warm good morning to you, sir. So you told me earlier on off camera that you are in the construction space. You are a civil engineer by training, but as a resident of George, you come here and you are wanting updates, and you were talking about the effect that this tragedy has had on the wider community. If you can perhaps just tell me, your reasons for being here and what you're hoping to glean from the site. You can just...
Yes, morning. Yeah, as I said earlier, I've been here in George for 19 years now and working in the construction space. A tragedy like this has never happened before. Me, myself, even now, I was supposed to be at work. But I woke up this morning thinking to come here, not now only as a civil engineer, but as part of the community, because the community at large, we are very concerned with what happened here. The effect that this thing has had on the whole community is very bad. No one at this stage, I can't even sleep well. I don't have a family member here, but I feel for everyone who has a member here. I feel for them, and this is sorrow. It has brought so much sorrow in the entire community. We can't wait until we find closure on this and until the last body is found. I know there are people who are very much hard at work to try and recover other bodies which are still trapped here, but the community is awaiting that patiently. We really want people to be found. We are hoping that they are still alive, because I know it's the 5th day today, but the hope to find them alive, it's still there. We don't want to give up yet.
Being in the construction space, Mr. Koloba, of course, and we can understand that, people are anxious, as you said. People are concerned, people are worried, family members are distraught at the moment for not knowing what's happening. But of course you would know that in an incident like this, tragic as it is, the processes have to unfold. I mean, there's heavy machinery on site, there are various role players from the rescue and recovery team. So it's very difficult to tell somebody who's concerned that they need to have patience, but unfortunately, this is one of those incidents where, every minute is important, but also the process must unfold.
Yes, absolutely. Look, this is not an overnight thing. Everyone wants to know, to find closure, what happened, but unfortunately, there are processes which has to be followed now, because there's investigation that must take place. This is not something that we can know tomorrow what happened. There's many speculations now, but until proper investigation is done, we just have to wait and be patient. As I've said, what concerns us most now is to find whoever is still trapped there. That is very much important to us as the community at large. But yes, the process must take its due course so that we can get to the bottom of exactly what happened there.
Thank you, Mr. Kulubo. Of course, they're one of the community members of George, himself in the construction industry, really just expressing the concern of George residents. And of course, I've got another resident with me. She was here yesterday, last evening, as well as she's come back this morning again, Nicoline Bardenser. Good morning to you, Nicoline. You've been here at the site practically yesterday as well as today. You returned to the site here. Tell us, as a community, as a person, you were telling me that you've never prayed as much as you've been praying for those trapped underneath to be found alive. Explain to us why you feel drawn to the site to come back here again this morning.
Good morning, everyone. The reason why, because I said, as a human being, we as George, as a community, we feel for the families, for the people that is working here, also on the site. And like I said, it's all about being human, and we care as a community. Even though, like I said, also I don't have families here, but it also affects me. It feels like I have a responsibility to come here, even though to pray. Like I said, we pray at night. So yeah, it's really a sad moment. It's sad for George. It's sad. As a community that was happening, the tragedy that was happening here. Yeah.
Thank you so much for speaking to me, Nicoline Barron. So, of course, they're one of the George residents who's also attended the prayer services here, which take place mere meters from the site. And, of course, I can tell you that we received word that there will be a media update where the various role players, including Premier Alan Winde and others, will be doing a media briefing at 1 o'clock this afternoon. Of course, that will be preceded, as we understand, by a visit from the Minister of Health, Dr. Joe Pashla, who is expected to come and do a site visit and also visit various hospitals in the vicinity to check up on the progress and also the processes with regards to the various spheres of government and also various government departments coming together, including health. We know that the police are involved, disaster management is involved. We know that therapy sessions as well as psychotherapy is being offered to those affected, not just the families, but also to the workers here behind us, the rescue teams that are on site in Victoria Street.
Right, thank you so much for the update that's happening there in George. And as you can see, this is a massive story, perhaps one of the biggest that we've had in this country in terms of people being trapped under a building and trying to retrieve them in such difficult conditions. So we'll continue to cross to Vanessa Puna, who's covering that for us, and the other reporters that are stationed there.